Okay, yeah. So I got notices from our lovely moderators. We've got Poop Kid in the house, crispy egg roll. Why am I so low? Why am I so high? Let me just adjust this camera a little bit. All right. Um, let's try that one more time. This thing's literally like glued onto my monitor. Um, yeah. So I had the browser open with the stream, and it was bouncing off. So that's why. That's what the mods do. They keep things on track. They make sure everything works out, that we don't have these technical glitches. Can you imagine how awful it would have been if I didn't catch that? How long it would have taken? Anyway, so this thing is you plug it in. It's super thin. It's just a plug for this thing I bought on Amazon. It's a LED thing. It's a portable light box. You travel with it, which is amazing. So I'm going to take this RWBY cover I worked on last week. I got an extension on the deadline, so that's why I didn't stream the rest of it. But I am going to basically. I didn't like how Ruby Rose there kind of bled off her scyther weapon. It's a weird crop on that, so I'm not crazy about that. So let's up the light source here. So I'm going to transfer it to another piece of paper, and I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. But before I do that, it's always easier to transfer when you have a very dark illustration, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tighten up these layouts with a Sharpie. You know, I'm not going to use a Sharpie. I'll use a Micron. That's a 0.1. Here we go, 0.8. Let's see if we can see this. Yeah. Let's put it right there. Now the goal is to shrink it all down, so I'm going to basically do that while I'm kind of doing this ink. And so to kind of give you a sense of what's happening, I'm going to transfer this drawing, and then I think I'm going to finish it on my own just because they don't want it out there before they reveal it. So I'm going to, that always kind of trumps my desire to live stream the drawing. You see, I just kind of work on the torso. I'm not, obviously her breasts would go there on top of it, but I'm just doing structure and perspective really. So we're looking on the underside of that rib cage. And then there's another piece of art that's kind of top secret, but it involves drawing some DC marquee characters, so I can do that. Although, I'm not going to have really time to do that. I'm going to have to do that separately. So today, I think I'm going to transfer this, and then I'm going to go in and do that, at least start the Sasquatch versus Hulk. So I shared on Instagram the other day a shot of me at my very first Comic-Con. I can't believe that Jackie Estrada, who is one of the organizers of Comic-Con from way back, she went around Artist Alley and took pictures of artists. And so she took a picture of me, and I was just starting out my career. No one knew me from Adam, right? So the fact that she had a photo that I don't remember it, her taking it. I don't remember anything from that era, a long time ago. Anyway, so it's funny because it's also black and white. They did have color photography back in my youth. And so the fact that she has that was very cool to see that. And I think we had just gotten lunch at Wendy's. But the con experience back then very different than it is now. I think to my left is Wilson, probably to his left is Scott Williams in that photo. Wills drew out the kind of bubbly topography there. And here I put the ribs so you can see what that structure looks like. All right, so there's one figure. If I shrink her, I'll get more space over here, and when I light box it, I'll just transfer everything to the right. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. All right. So I'm going to try to recreate that Sasquatch versus Hulk in the same pose, but kind of using whatever skills I have learned in the 32 years since I did it. Oh yeah, so in that photo, if you look in the front, there's the same piece, that commission piece. And it's since been resold, that's why it's up online. I don't know who inked it. Was it Danny Bulinati? So the person that commissioned the pencils for me got someone else to ink it. I don't know who. But looking at it, I definitely see the things I struggled with back in that time, things I still struggle with today. Certain angles, up the armpit angle is always the tricky one. Like it's right here, the arm raised, and certainly if you look at the Hulk, I don't even look at it, but I remember that when I first glanced at it again after all these years, you could see that structural thing. Could be a little more. If I were to completely redo the whole thing, I would just change the camera angle too. Maybe do it more behind the Hulk so you're looking at Sasquatch. Right, like that, so the camera's like kind of mounted to the Hulk's shoulder, over the shoulder shot. Be interesting. Okay. So you can see the kind of room I've left over here. So I'm going to gain some of it, but all right. I don't do things like this a lot, but sometimes if it's complicated, you want to work out the structure and the composition carefully. It certainly helps to do this. I used to make photocopies of this stage, and then I'd take a Sharpie or a brush and go in and spot all my shadows and try different ones. Obviously, today with Photoshop and digital, you can do that even more quickly and faster, and more quickly, faster, and with probably more iterations. I'm gonna bring this arm in a little bit. I have to double check, obviously, all the lengths of the weapons and whatnot. have the skirt kind of bounce up that way to kind of help sell that three-dimensional shape. And then I think her robe, I have to double check all the reference, but just thinking negative shapes here. So now her, I'm going to move up a little bit more, right? Let's see, move the, it's going to be a little tricky. I don't want her foot to look like it's on her shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to try something really different here. Let's see if I can, well, let's try to put the weapon where you want it first. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. See how uncomfortably close I am to that line? Just know when we transfer it over, it's going to get moved. All right. But now what happens if I... Is it just a matter of moving the hand positioning? There we go. Just going to have her kind of head back like this. I don't know. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to carry forth the staff. All right. So what happens? All right. Let's move the whole head over a little bit like this. I feel like this whole staff could be moved over just a little bit more, so I'm going to put it right here. And then that, it's kind of in between where I had it before. But then that allows me to kind of do more of what's going on right there. Okay. So let's go ahead and transfer that over. And like it's like a cooking show, we can get back to it later. So there will be another stream this Sunday. And then the Sunday after that, there'll be another stream. 2 streams in a row. And then that'll be San Diego. And then we'll... Gosh, I could do a stream the Sunday after Comic-Con, but I think I'm driving back that Sunday. So unlikely. All right, to get maximum benefit out of this, I'm going to turn off these lights here. It's going to get a little darker. This paper is 3-ply, so it's a little tricky to see. Okay. Same time. Same time stream. While I'm driving, yes. All right, let's look at where. So if I look at the hash marks here on the side, the crop lines. All right. Probably want that there. Ooh, all right. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit. So let's do the one that's most important, which is the one I'm having issues with. So let's pull in. All right, let's do this. Can you see that? All right. Very focused. You know what I'm not hearing? I'm not hearing alerts. I wonder if I bet my output is. Let me check something. No. There we go. Yeah, I've been having no feedback from chat in terms of sound. Hopefully that fixed it. I'll check in 1 second. Let me just get this squared away. And drop that shoulder down. Move those hips out a little bit more. Move this up a little bit. Okay, got that approximately where I need it to be. And then okay. All right, so that's the first one. And now let's get to the one on the right and where she needs to be in terms of the live area. You know, that's the other thing is I can rotate it. Hold on a second. I rotate her. So now that I have her on a separate, I can rotate her like this. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. But I'm going to shrink her down a little bit more. So kind of mentally photocopying her down. That'll give me more room for the logo that would be up there anyway. Okay. And then I'm going to move her over here. Probably going, good thing you inked it so tightly because you're not following it at all, but I don't know. Gotta do what feels right. And I like the energy of a new kind of that I get from like drawing versus tracing. Right? So got a little more energy in her shoulders right there. And then with her in the foreground, actually make her a little bit larger. Like 5 to 10%. So let's do that. Be helpful if it were in frame. Okay. All right, so what am I left with? Let's turn the lights back on. Here's what I got. So this is what I started with, and then just move things around. Restructured the composition. She got a lot smaller because she's in the background. Then she got a lot bigger. So I've got a foreground, 2 middle ground, 1 in the background. And I've got a decent amount of negative space around. I've got enough room for the corner box and the logo. Something like that. And then they can put blah, 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 first issue. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And then normally what I would do is then I take a flat eraser like this and I lightly erase that section. Right? And basically, not with this pencil, but a smaller, tighter pencil, 0.45. Go in, make those kinds of adjustments, clean it up, build it up layer upon layer, detail upon detail, shadows, and then cross-hatching, and then highlights if I need it. Oof. Okay, so let's get caught up. Telanus has resubbed for 6 months. Good evening. Kanger Banger has cheered 500 bits. hope it all is well. Will Torpedo be hosting you again this year? I see John all the time. We haven't talked about it. I'm sure there will be something. They've got some amazing signings coming up, so I'd love to come by and just support other people that are signing there too. Dr. or Drewficer 5000 has resubbed using Prime for 12 months. So yeah, if you have a Amazon Prime member, since Twitch is owned by Amazon, they actually comp you a free Twitch membership so you can follow or support or sub to any stream. I think you have to choose every month who you want to support. That's the only downside, but it's a great little benefit aside from all the other features. Estelle Thani has resubbed for 3 months. Dorth Laurie has cheered. Thank you very much, Darth Laurie. Giovanni Sanguili has resubbed for 13 months in a row. Appreciate it. It's been a while. Great work as always. Thanks for the investing time in our fans. We appreciate it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you, Chuck Arnold 3000 for resubbing using Prime, 22 months. Vieti 23 has also subbed. David Buchanan 1000 has resubbed using Prime for some reason. He's grayed out. I don't know what that means. In my Streamlab update, there's like a check mark next to his. I don't know. Einstein Jean Som has resubbed for 15 months. Veritas 209, Navaparta, Darth Laurie, Tochik, all supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Queen City Amusements has cheered an unusual number of bits. Thank you very much, Queen City Amusements. When It Rains is back in the team again for 19 months running. 22 Bonilla Cupcakes has resubbed for 13 months using Prime. Very smart use of Prime. Jonella from the Philippines has cheered. Hi, chat. Hi, Jonella. Nicola 1397. Because I'm Batman with a typo. Byron the Bulb. VZA in the house. 22 months. Yes, flew by nothing for like nothing. Well, that's because you were just watching. Well, no, you actually did some work. Everyone else was just watching. You and I were doing all the work. So yeah, it feels like 22 months. Wildstorm CCG has resubbed. Look, I'm not trying to diminish the people that are just watching. You guys have done good. Appreciate the support. Wildstorm CCG has resubbed for 17 months in a row. Janella, Ink the Page, have all subbed within the time frame of the stream. I appreciate it. Right Now and Later has cheered. Drawing with JC, Quick Draw 13 from Australia has cheered as well, and Tim Baksh as well. Thank you guys. Tim also for the resub. All right. Let's put this aside and let's focus on this Hulk versus Sasquatch. I try not to be honest, I'm trying to focus more on my DC work. Obviously, I work at DC to be fully transparent. But since I started my career at Marvel, and if I'm trying to show the transition between one of the very first commissions I did, that first Comic-Con back in 1987, and where we are 32 years later, I don't think there's maybe a handful of Batman drawings, if at all. Actually, there is one. It's pretty horrendous. It's mostly cape, so I don't know how I would improve upon that. So with this one, it's I just pulled up the image here. So it's Sasquatch versus the Hulk, and some Lego bits. If you go to Jim Lee or Instagram.com/Jim Lee, you'll see this image. It's the last image I put up. And you can see the beauty of my signature from August 7th, 1987. So I was 22 at the time. 22. All right. Okay, so very quickly, let me diminish the brightness here. Thank you, Queen City Amusements, for the cheer, and Janelle as well. Thank you. Singapore Comic-Con is not in the works. Sorry about that. I would love to come out to Singapore at some point. Crazy Rich Asians, that bar. hung out between two buildings. I have to go. I feel like Queen City Amusements has like Tourette's when it comes to like cheering. Like he just types in a random, uncontrollable number. All right. Let me check out. Quick Draw 13. I was 3 in 1987. Oh, thank you very much, Jamie, for making me feel so ancient. All right. KB Bradshaw. I was born 87. I'm crazy with 9 kids and 5 dogs and a cat. That's what I am. Roy Batty. Yeah, Cardiac Sumo 1. This is a timeline before your even existence. So let me just get to this. This will not take long. Okay. Sasquatch is mostly a top-heavy character like this. And so I'm going to start with roughly kind of what I had before. And then, lovely foreshortening of that forearm is straight on. Like this fist and forearm, like right on top of each other. It's like we're looking right on top of that soup can. And then we got the Hulk over here, big but shorter, squatter. Got a leg, a foot, another foot, and then an arm that comes out of that socket, but I couldn't quite make it come out in perspective, so I flattened it out. Good job, Jim, from 1987. And then a very John Byrne looking arm coming straight down. Probably lifted from issue of Captain America. Impossible, because I did this on the floor. And then a nice straight on shot, kind of, strangely uplit on Hulk. No uplighting on anyone else or any other thing. Downlighting, in fact, over here. So this is roughly kind of the shape. And then there's rubble that really makes no sense. I've got 3 pieces of pipe that kind of all decide that they're going to be going that way. So I am going to change everything and put the rubble that way, scoop it down, and then have it kind of go back up this way. Okay, so that's the first change I'm going to do. So the negative space of the rubble, create a bit of a crater. If only your younger self could hear my sass. Well, KB Bradshaw, you know what? I've mellowed out my year, so I think my younger self would be like, "Old man, what are you talking about?" Yeah. Some people are uncoachable, to be honest. Like it's like in PUBG. You all call out, "Hey, let's drop prison," and someone in your group whose name rhymes with BK decides to go to shelter each and every time. It's a team. It's a team game. I mean, it's squad action. I mean, you know, who needs a wingman, right? So, yeah. Something J Novus. I'm actually at home to catch this one. Has resub using Prime. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. So now, what I think I'm going to do, what I would have done is move the camera like this, so we're looking kind of more over the Hulk's shoulder, coming at this wall that's kind of in front of him. So maybe I can actually not go as full on crazy because that'll change the drawing. Kind of still want to do the kind of the innocent side by side shot, but let's see if I can create a little more depth in the figures than I had before. So establish that collarbone up there. This arm comes out here. Let's pull this arm back. And this is my shorthand for kind of blocking in or Greeking in a fist. It's roughly a hexagonal shape. Yeah, it's a hexagon. Right, that's attached to the end of a forearm. This is the knuckle line, and then this is the shadow. Right, look at this fist here. All right, there's the pentagon hexagon shape roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a pentagon. I don't know, sometimes a hexagon. But if there's light, see how it's light up top, dark here, light back on the forearm. It's a nice ad for Apple Watch. Same thing here, right? Knuckle line, shadow, forearm, watch right there. Okay. There's the mouth. Now with this arm, I'm not going to do this soup can straight on because that's just ridiculous. It's because I didn't know how to do this, which is move that fist up, show a little bit of the side right here, show a little bit of that side right here, twist in that forearm. So you can see the negative shape right there. It's like if there were arm wrestling, that's kind of how it would show up. Now, you know what's interesting is that I have this arm. All right, never mind. I was going to say I was killing some of the energy, but so rather than having that leg be completely side shot, kind of again flattening it out, what if happens if I do a 3/4 on this knee, which I couldn't do back then, or didn't even think of back then? If I do that and then drop that knee down, it almost doesn't matter because he's got like these furry shins, so you're not going to see that other one. Okay. Chunk Style 3030. I will look for you at Comic-Con in Baltimore. This wasn't my first commission. It was just one of my first commissions. I'm sure this was a 2-character commission. I think I was charging $15 per figure back then. Might have given this person a discount, $25, because that's the kind of guy I am. Spendy G has resubbed for 19 months. Have a good Canada Day up here in the north. See you at Fan Expo. I'll be in Chunk Style 3030. I already talked about that. Ridiculous Chris has subbed as well. Yeah, so the next show I have is San Diego Comic-Con. Hey, Ren Elephant, done showering. Welcome in. Ran. Okay, now let's work on the Hulk. I am sure I redrew this part of his body over and over again. All right, so let's do the collar line again. He's going to be more in perspective than even Sasquatch here. So this pec, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ooh, also a hexagon, is going to be very foreshortened. So look at this distance versus this distance. What does that tell me? That this soup can looks like this. This is the center line of that soup can. Comprende? So if this distance and this distance are the same in geometry, right? See how this square and this square are the same shape, but in perspective, this has a completely different shape and size. Soul Brother one. Anyway, now the shoulder comes up. The trick is think of the shoulder. If you were to draw the complete shoulder and then the back of there's a socket, there's a hole right here. And out of that hole comes the bicep tricep complex, industrial military complex. Boom. And then the forearm has to latch on top of that. And let's go ahead and cock the fist at the wrist. The fist at the wrist. All right. It just gets us a little more energy into the figure. Like they're all like just straining to get that last oomph. Okay. And then ribs there. Stomach. Pelvis up here. Or sorry, torso up here. We'll put the pelvis down here a little further away than I had it before. And that will give us a little more forward momentum. Got the knee. I kind of not want to draw this foot just to mess with people out there. I mean, but I will. And then other foot. I'm going to make him even more top heavy. But again, a little more cock in that wrist. That's a horrible thing to say. I need a new phrase. A little more swivel in the, the wrist joint. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Guys are so juvenile. All right. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this chin up because he's looking up. So I'm going to see the slight underside of that chin. Flick of the wrist. I like that. Thank you, Joshua. We have an adult in the room. And see up the nose a little bit, the nostril. And see how that looks conceptually. What do we got going on? We have a raid. Awesome. Hello. Thank you, Chamilinus. Camillianus. Oh my god, I'm butchering this. Camellia. I know the last part is lioness. Camel lioness. But it's like chameleon. Chameleoness. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in. Thanks, guys. Hello, Fishin252. Wong Chi without the he. Hello, Jim. I'm a huge fan. I just found you streaming on Twitch. Thank you so much for having us over here. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. I nailed it. This is a family-friendly stream. Hey, Domo Stanton. I was just talking about you with somebody literally Friday night. Guys, if you want someone interesting, well, let's go follow Chameleon Ines first. Let's do that. Let's go find out what. But if you guys are into some cool art, Domo Stanton is amazing. Got to know him a little bit through our talent search some time back. And let me go here. Okay. So follow Domo. All right, so I've got that. Now I'm going to go back and look at the original drawing I did. You'll see that if you go back to the image I posted on Instagram, the head of Hulk is way more, it's back, like his body's going forward, but the chin didn't lead, like he's held back. So there's a lot of energy going forward in the body and the hips, and then his head's back up, and then this whole fist, this arm, and this darkness in here is it's very not informed. And then this area here in the original, not so great. This forearm I fixed. I moved this leg more to a 3D kind of coming at us, so we see the front, the kneecap, and then move this head down further. So they are much closer to each other than before. Okay, so I have an hour. You think I can ink this in an hour? If I had a marker that worked. So back then I just did pencils. I don't think I did inks because I was just starting out in my career. Probably had no confidence that I could ink anything. So I think I just penciled. Although I take it back. There are some, I have seen stuff that I inked, but it was like with Sharpies and stuff, which really shows you how early days it was, because Sharpies can fade. They fade with exposure to sunlight. They can purple, the chemicals that make up Sharpies can leach out, and you get like a yellow shadow in front of a purple line. I use a 0.5 because that's all I have. Holy Arts and Craftsman, Holy Arts and Crafts Batman has subbed using Prime. So Camelinus, take it you're an artist as well. It's because they're dye ink, not pigment ones. Interesting. Tim Arnold 52 has subbed. Either is a big fan of the new 52 or the multiverse, or he was born in 1966, 67. El Gritty has subbed. Kenshiro Kasumi 83 has resubbed using Prime. Angry Panda has cheered. Thank you very much, Angry Panda. Okay. All right, let's start inking. 52 cards in a deck. That is correct. 52 weeks in a year. Hey, proper artist, welcome in. Another gifted artist. Ethan JJB, yeah, 2 weekends in a row. Guess what? Next weekend, another stream. Although I'll be coming back from a wedding. So hopefully I'll be in decent shape. All right, let's usually start with the head, and I'm going to continue that. So it has been probably 30 years since I've drawn Sasquatch. So I am drawing based on a drawing I did back then and kind of my memory of drawing him or her as she became. It's one of the more unusual sort of character developments. I forgot what was it. Walter Lankowski becomes Wanda, I believe. You know, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. One second. You guys tell me if that's better. Feel better, no? 9? Okay. Even the hair, like, why did I go down like that? I should have kept it going this way. I have 1 hour. Let's see if I can do this. And that hair is so restrained. Look at it. I can't imagine, though, that this commission piece took me more than an hour. I have this vague recollection of doing like 10 or 12 in a full day, counting the time like after the show's over and you go back to the hotel room and draw till 2 o'clock. So if you're at the con from, let's say, 12 to 5, or 12 to 6, 5 hours plus dinner, another 5 or 6, like, so maybe 12-hour days, you do 12 commissions. Yeah, like an hour, right? And if you're charging like $15 a sketch, that's $15 an hour. Lou Reynolds, hey, please do a mini tutorial on drawing poses quickly. 9. No time today. Sorry. But I address it many times in other streams, so if you want to invest the time, info is out there. But see, in the original, the fur's like all hanging down. It's like, why did I not have it flying up like this? Why not create that extra, like, there's a fan. Like, I just got an extra $2 million in my budget for air blowers. Like, you know why? It's probably because the so concerned with drawing the character accurately. That's probably like how I drew him each and every time, no matter what panel, no matter what kind of environment he was in. So if you look at what I drew before, the fist, wrist, forearm are locked into a spatial flatness. And I flicked that wrist. I rotated that wrist more towards you, but it's a little like he's trying to hit like this. Before I drew it straight on, so let me see if I can approximate that. So it was this, very flat. I changed it to this. The truth is, I probably want it more like this a little bit. I definitely don't want it flat. So let me see what happens if I move it down. Dilemma. Into space or towards us? That's what I'm deciding, if you guys are wondering why I've slowed down right here. Let's take out what looks better? Fist. I'm going to stick with my original concept. Knuckle, knuckle, knuckle. Finger, 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 finger. And I pulled back a little bit so it's not so long. Okay. Something like that, right? And so that if I were to render that plane, it would look something like that. In fact, it looks just like that. Okay. And then there'll be some white out to clean this all up at the end. And there's going to be like ash from the destruction kind of floating in the air, embers, all the good stuff. I'm not shortchanging you guys anything. All right. And then here's the other full-on peck going back in space. It's a V, right? It's a set of wings. Here's the wings flat out. Here are your pec muscles. Okay, if you wrap those pec muscles around a torso, they're going to bend like this. There's a center line. Camera straight on. Both pecs are the same size. You rotate it. Look how this pec on the left versus this pec on the right. Look at the right. Same here. Here's the center line of that fold. And underside of that rib cage. Ab line down here. And okay. All right. You guys with me? That's maybe catch up on. Four locos. Wish I would cross-post this stuff on Twitter. I hardly use Instagram. I can't imagine life without Instagram. It's so much more enjoyable than Twitter. But I do cross-post sometimes, most of the time, I would say. If it's more personal, I tend not to put it on Twitter. If it's more informational, definitely on both. Twitter's definitely easier to kind of cross post and share information. But in Instagram, you can type more. Let me see what I did with the original fur on this. Ooh, it's like whippy. It's like this. All right, let's see if I'll keep that in there. I'll concede that to younger Jim, sure. But I'm gonna have it be a little more like it's swirling in different directions. Okay. It's at an angle for the camera. This is what it looks like. It looks a little more humanoid too. I don't know what I was doing with that older. It looks like a Ninja Turtle with like a head squished down. Thank you very much for the bits, Trevor. Trevor Kai. Brandon Louise 19 has resubbed. Razav1 has resubbed as well. Mr. Taz 333. I've been watching a lot of The Office, like binging it, and so sometimes I get this weird Michael Scott thing in my head, which is scary that that's the one I identify with. Anyway, all right. The character I identify. Kneecap. Bottom of the kneecap. Whatever this ligament is right in here behind the kneecap or the joint of the knee. I assume that this hair is on the front and the back. To be discreet. So I'm going to add that, because before I just had kind of one. It looks almost like a tail. And so this is fur, it's texture, but by putting a bunch of lines right here, I'm basically also creating the shape of that calf muscle without drawing the calf muscle per se. That makes sense. So I'm adding texture, adding volume, and defining muscles at the same time. There's a muscle that comes out here. And then you look at the length of that thigh, and it's coming out at you. So then you got to move it over to that other hip, and it's behind. So it's about the right length right there. And so that's a pretty big move. Like in the old one, it was way back here. And strangely enough, his old pose, it looked like he was like in a boxer stance, like the weight's really evenly distributed. By putting the foot here and the other one kind of off balance in the back, it's a little more like he's falling over, but I think there's just a lot more energy to it. So do that. His hirsute, so everything will have bits of line work to kind of indicate that even if you see tendons or ligaments, they're covered with hair. All right. Janella has cheered. Thank you very much for the bits. I'm going to take a second to tape this up so that I could turn on the air conditioning. Hopefully it'll work. General GSP3 has resub. I don't know if Camo Linus is still here. What did you guys do in that stream before you guys came over here? Anyone here from that previous stream still here? When did Sasquatch get bigger than the Hulk? I thought Sasquatch was always bigger than the Hulk. Okay. Let's see if that does anything to the room. Golf Boy Sunday. Yeah, I'll draw this again when I'm 75. I'll do it. Oh no, I'll be retired by then. 65. I'll do it 65. My last stream. I'll do it 65. My last stream. I always thought Sasquatch was bigger. Pretty sure. Einstein Jensom, what's the news on the giveaways? They're slowly being taken care of. Eddie Choi, who's helped me on that in the past, he was traveling. He was, I think, at Japan and Korea. Maybe it was just, I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram. One Arm Assassin. One must learn how to buy this drawing. Why is his forearm so high on his bicep? It's not. The forearm, the elbow is right here. That's the fur. And plus it's coming at you. So it would be boom, boom, boom. As opposed to boom, boom, boom. Superhero summer art. Jim, do you feel old when you look at old pictures? I would. No, I feel seasoned. What is better, to look back on your youth and see where you came from and enjoy the success of the journey, or to be young and look forward to the future and not know where things were going to head and if all this pain and suffering was going to work out for you? You tell me, Mr. 16-year-old. All right. Lane's 21. Will there be a drawing with Jim Lee panel this year, San Diego? Yeah, there are two actually. 100%. There's a spotlight panel one of the days. Ooh, I almost drew fur on his chest. Although, you know what? I do like a hairier Hulk. In the very, very first Kirby iterations, he had like forearm hair, and I think some people have drawn him with like chest hair. So I might do that. Does he have chest hair in the movies? I think he does. But I don't know. The best part about all this is when I post this up, there'll still be a person out there like, I like the old one better. uh, Family friendly channel. Will not say what I want to think to say. All right. I'm going to drop this shoulder down even further, so I'm adjusting it on the fly. And that will allow me to drop this arm down even further. So everything moves down a little further. Although, if he's cocking his forearm towards us, it's not going to extend too much more. So let's put the fist here. Knuckle 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Yeah. Eins, zwei, drei, vier. Okay. Hopefully that looks okay. It's getting big. Michael Thorleone, do you ever get approached by art snobs blabbing useless critique to your face? Uh, I, no, but there are a lot of people on social media that blather useless critiques, but I don't think you have to be. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think you have to be an art snob to have a useless critique. And trust me, there are plenty of useless critiques. There are a lot of good critiques. What do they say? Yeah, everyone's got an opinion, man. It doesn't matter if you know how to draw or not. In fact, I would say most people don't know how to draw, but they still have an opinion. Most people don't know how to make a movie, write a story. People have very strong opinions about all that stuff, right? Sure do. So I don't think you need to go out of your way basically to put down art snobs. So there's that bicep, tricep. That's all going to be, or a lot of it's going to be in shadow. And let's bring that fist down just a little bit. Ooh. Don't try this at home. I don't know where this fist is going. It will be refined. And you will like it. I hope. All right, here's the trickiest part. What kind of Hulk? We're the Mo haircut or the Buzz with hair on the top of his head? The fade? Um, hmm. He's got like, I figure he's got like small kind of MMA kind of ears. Let's do the big brow. The fun thing is he's do the butchered haircut like it's almost like he had a straight razor, like, but he did it unevenly. But then I still kind of want to make it look good, like he just got out of bed looking like that kind of look. I've got a 0.1 fade marker right here. Jester X has reset for 8 months. Would you ever consider doing a different medium on stream? I'd love to see what you could do with something like charcoal. Yeah. I was thinking about streaming a large canvas painting, just setting up a camera and then doing something on maybe like a 3 foot by 4 foot canvas, something very kind of painterly. So I might do that. Maybe I'll do that next weekend. And then obviously doing something digital is another option. A still life of fruit. I could do still lifes. Okay, now I'm gonna do the top part of his rip pants, his stretch pants, his Lululemon stretch pants here that never tear except on the kneecaps. Gonna update that torn material, a little bit of flare, maybe a couple of wrinkles that actually go over the joint. I don't know who owns this piece anymore. In fact, I don't remember who bought it in the first place. So, but I do know it was resold. I don't know what it's sold for. Does anyone have the means to figure that out? I think it was sold on eBay. One Arm Assassin has resub. Thank you very much. Janella has cheered. Would you draw along again? Yeah, it's definitely in the works. I just don't have anything planned right now. So I'm thinking sort of doing a different kind of medium thing. And then, is Einstein Jin Som? Are you still here? I think you asked me about giveaways. What was the piece that you're waiting on? You're waiting on. You're waiting on something, you were saying. A giveaway. Asuka91, welcome into the live stream. All right, let's just keep this going. Feet sketch? Was that? Black Manta. That is definitely at the office. Okay. I will check with Eddie tomorrow. So, for those of you who are new to the stream, I want to know more what's going on in between streams, whatnot. Well, be good is like a vein. Please see one of the mods of how you can join the Discord channel. It's kind of how we stay in contact and do updates, stuff that's going on stream and the channel. Just made that arm wider to kind of match that arm. And now I'm going to have to do this leg coming forward. I will do the rip thing, but I'm going to do a thing where it's not just the hole. I'm going to do like it's a very fashionable pair of jeans, purple pants. So you can see kind of the material torn in a number of different locations. And then the flap that kind of hangs down a little bit. And that goes like that. Wolfie Poo has subbed for 15 months. Thank you very much, Wolfie Poo. I'm getting revved up for San Diego. The schedule's slowly coming together. Like I said, there's a spotlight panel and then like a how to draw panel. So there's going to be 2.5 hours. One panel's like 1 hour. The other panel, I believe, is like an hour and a half. So I think it's Thursday and Friday, I believe. It's hard to draw toes, so I'm going to draw the gaps in between the toes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? It's like, I shouldn't even say it. Yeah. There you go. King Warner Art, Twitch noob here. And then that goes like that. Let's draw through. There's the thigh. Rob Zombie. What? I don't understand. I'll have to read that when I'm in better shape. Selling what? Oh, Cool Lines artwork is selling it. What's the sale? What's the price point? We're talking about the original one, not this one, obviously, that I'm drawing. Somewhere my eraser disappeared. Thank you, Darth Laurie. There we go. So let's erase what I've got there. Boom. So with this back leg, I'm going to fade it into the background, because what we're going to see is that the Hulk is running so fast, so furiously. Rob Zombie. I don't know what that is. It sounds like you want me to give you an assignment? Something like that? I don't know. Why do I have to give you an assignment, though? You guys can give yourself an assignment. And no offense, I mean. Are you talking about drawing a whole page? Is that what we're talking about? A hidden draw along. What? Blabber's Blub. Thank you. Ever thought of making an artwork of your mods? Blubber's Blub. No. Is that something I should be thinking of? They know they're loved, beloved. Please no. Well, one of the characters will have no eyes. The other would not even be in the drawing because he decided to land in shelter and loot over there. One would be behind a shower curtain. And then the last one, I don't know. Very crispy, roasted. All right. Bruce Patterson is thinker? Awesome. Thank you, Bruce, for fixing my mistakes. I'm sure of what you did. Nothing from 1987 really looked that great. No offense to my younger self, but come on. First year in the business. If any of you guys go like, I like that stuff better, there are a lot of other streamers you can be following. Gladly escort you to the Twitch door. Okay. It's 12 o'clock. Here's what I got so far. I'm going to pull this back so you guys can see. Ouch. A for Twitch. If you're new to the stream, you know that I talk a lot of crap. Because when you get older, you get crankier. That is proven. There we go. All right. I don't know if you can even see this here. I need to. Okay, so again, it's drawn at an angle. This table is at a slightly different angle than the camera. So the actual piece looks like Rumble in the Jungle right there. Okay. I'm going to pull it back a little bit more even because I'm going to do the backgrounds. Got half an hour. Crap is good. Thank you, Animarchin 2019. Mtane1, you've come a long way since 1987. I hope so. I've been doing this professionally for 33 years. I'm definitely more mellow, SM CAR-T 313. 100%, like, I was obnoxiously obnoxious. Not quite crispy level, but I mean, oh, yeah. Okay. Domostan, literally doing this for as long as I've been alive. I think that's the words you meant to say. Were you arrogant, like douchebag level? No, I wasn't. Why would I? What was there to be arrogant about? Michael Fairleone. I was just more high strung, like, you know what I'm saying? Like more frenetic, like I gotta do this, I gotta have that, I gotta do this, I need this, I need this person to do this, right? That it's not arrogance, it's just I was very focused on what I wanted to do, what I wanted to have done, right? Arrogant about those skills, KB Bradshaw. I don't know. You always sound really relaxed. Oh, that's because I'm old. Shadow Shade 81413. Life kind of beats that out of you. Eric Fisher artist. Jim was badass and he knew it. The first year in the business, no. Hungry for sure. Trunk style, three. Yeah, I think there was an impatience and, yeah, I mean, I finally got to do what I wanted to do. And so, yeah, you just live, breathe, I've got 87, no kids. I mean, this was it. Comics were my life. Um, what would I rather be? For sure, who I am now. So I don't miss sort of the impatience and self-centeredness, I think, of youth. Um, but I think if I didn't have that, I don't think I'd end up here. Petite diet deity. I'm hungry. Gonna make some food. KB Brescia. I might pay money to see Jim be angry. Yeah, I don't know. I was just intense at everything. Like even if we played like Monopoly, I'd be harassing you. Like, where's my rent money? Or like, please trade me this for those two. Like it's just hard to describe. And it wasn't just about art. In fact, it was more. I was just very competitive, but I wouldn't rub it in your face like I do, like with Crispy, or like it'd be more. I just wanted to win. Like Vata, you need motivation to draw. Start drawing again. I kind of gave up on it. Well, like Vata, I don't know your life situation, and I'd hate to say something that would actually have real life implications on how you felt about your life choices and the work you do. So, with that in mind, I would just tell you that don't look at drawing as something that you need to improve, like it's a skill. Think of it as an escape, something that you do because you get great benefit out of it, being creative and kind of exercising those creative muscles in your head and just because it shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel, well, it will definitely feel like work once you get work, once you're a professional. But certainly when you're starting off, um, there should be a lot of joy in it, right? You're doing it because you love drawing. All right, I'm going to put one of those Lego pieces in just as an homage to the insanity of the background that I created back then. I don't even know what this is. Later, when it's a job, then you can stress about it, like, oh, I can't get up to draw this, or I'm hard pressed to like do this as a commission, or not commission, as an assignment or a deadline. But if you're trying to get back into drawing, yeah, you're never going to get back into it if you look at it that way. You got to look at it. It's like, this is fun. I want to do this. This makes me feel good about my creativity and my ability to express myself in a non-verbal way. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. Emphasis on the blah 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 blah. That's the important part of what I just said. If you can master and figure out what that blah 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 is, you will have figured out secrets to life. You work hard, and then da 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 da, you're successful, right? That's the best part of that speech right there. Omniform Blue. Do I still find fun drawing enough, even though you're a pro now? Um, yeah, I'm having a great time drawing this. I would say that 90% of my streams have been fun. What about the other 10%? Well, there were those PUBG streams. Ugh. Get run over by people. Hilarious if you're the driver. Hilarious, right? Yeah. Still battle scars. Michael Stead, do you still work on practicing and improving? Yeah, every day, man. Every image is a chance to show everyone how much you've lost your ability to draw. And every drawing is also an opportunity to kind of introduce a new fan to your work. And every drawing is a opportunity to kind of show what you've learned in your life and why your work matters, right? So, like every day in your life, it's an opportunity to do the same thing, even if you're not an artist. Right? There should be progression, correct? Am I not right? We understand that with art, like over time, you want to get to be a better artist. Do we think about that as being people, like noticing, like, okay, what are we not good at doing as people? How's my foreshortening as a person? How can I improve my foreshortening? All right, I'm getting off track. You know what I mean? Ooh, a Fort Witch. You got to break up your text. Like when you put a big chunk in like that, it flies by too fast. What's everyone doing today? It's Sunday, at least here in California. Kangaroo Banger is at a baby shower. That is how dedicated he is to the stream. He is at a friend's home celebrating the birth of their upcoming child, and he's watching the stream. Love it. Doesn't quite beat the person that well she was like in church in the pew with her phone watching the stream. Look at that. David Buchanan 1000 and D Debub 209, the first two members of my cult. Excellent. Russell Heath at the range, shooting long arms, long guns. I'll join if you pay me. Okay. Now here's bits of debris. Always think about adding bits of debris. Because what did the bits of debris? Okay, it's like newspapers flying in the air. What does that mean? That means there's a strong wind. So if there's debris coming up behind this character, it means he's running so fast he's kicking stuff up. Correct? David Buchanan went that. There are no employees within this cult. And the same thing with Sasquatch. Got little bits of alabaster, concrete, formica, marble, maybe even some tube piping. He's got a little debris in front of him because he's almost kind of coming a little bit to a stop. All right. All right. Let's erase some of this other stuff that's up here. Why are we concerned with the distance when we didn't know they crash? What? Eric Fisher, draw a tiny 1974 Wolverine in the background. All right, hold on a sec. I'll pencil it in, but I'm not gonna ink them in because I'll do this just for it's a Twitch exclusive. Got 15 minutes. If I screw up this deadline, Eric, I'm gonna blame you. I have the song Cranberries, that zombie song, running through my head. I don't know why. I haven't even heard this song recently. And I would sing out loud. I stopped myself. Whew. Disaster averted. All right. There you go. Und jetzt? Auf Wiedersehen, Wolverine. Ciao, ragazzo. Okay. His ghost is still there. Okay, that's what whiteout's for. All right, let's just lightly erase it. I do like some pencil showing underneath. I prefer my sketches that way. But let's just get enough of these out here. Okay. Sure. Let's put some ink on here. I can hear you. A brush would be helpful. Wait, is this Sasquatch or Wendigo? That is a good question. You know what? What if the person had asked me for Wendigo versus the Hulk and I drew Sasquatch? It's possible. Mystery solved after all these years. I do know the difference between the two. Mm-hmm. What do we got? 11 minutes. I think it's the first time I've redrawn a commission piece from like ancient times. Okay. So I've kind of got the shadows that I like for him. Let's try this a little bit. Let's go all the way. Okay. Okay. And so now over here, let's just drop a shadow of that fist across the forearm. Okay, let's drop in shadow on this leg here, and then kind of darken up this transition a little bit down here. Oop, drawn off camera again. I should probably pull back the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. Still got the same song stuck in my head. Do a little more of a dry brush over here because it's fur. Okay, we'll let that dry. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit over the allotted time. So those are the black shapes. Now, I kind of want to have stuff off to the side here. Kind of just blobs. They don't really represent anything other than it's almost like abstract drawing at this point. I'm just kind of drawing some black shapes. I'm going to fade it down. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. The light's coming this way, so I'm going to do the other. And then fade it down. connect some of these up. They look a little too disconnected. Okay. Dark Barbus has resubbed using Prime. Thank you very much. So yeah, reiterate, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch membership subscription every month as part of your perks of being an Amazon Prime. Amazon owns Twitch. DMS design, is a certain amount of that impatience and competitiveness almost necessary? Absolutely. Yeah. If you don't have the drive when you're young and hell-bent on making a difference, yeah, it is a little harder to pick up later. Pinchy Phil has resubbed. Mark Oliver Studio. It's not done yet. This is just the. Does your Bristol board warp at all when you add that ink? Yeah, it does. I just realized the image shakes when I touch the mouse. I should really separate that camera from the table there. All right, just letting that dry, and I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I'm going to take some paper and just kind of blot the ink. Kind of see it. I think that's the only place. All right, blot it one more time. All right. Let's take the 0.5 and just going to run it through all the way through, and then I'll be done. Oh, and a little bit of whiteout. So rather than make these look like kind of blobby bits of ink, I will add little bits of detail to make it look like it was intentionally done rather than just kind of thrown together using a brush. And one does that by kind of bringing in line variants, cleaning up the shapes to make it look like they're edges, like right there. Add little bits of detail and patterns, right? Thick, thinner, 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 smaller, right? That gradation. Human eye recognizes patterns as being intentional, man-made versus, well, actually, nature creates patterns too. I don't know what I was trying to say. I thought I had something interesting, but I'm letting go. It's Half Pint has sub. Thank you very much. Max Almus has resub. Ninja Smacks. I want to say thank you, X-Men 269. That's the reason I started drawing. Cool. Thank you very much for the very generous bits. Ninja Smacks. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Okay. Does that feel like it's something? I don't know. Let me ask some people, how scary is it to post something in chat? You feel like you're going to get your head, not by me, but, or is it pretty relaxed? Feels like rocks. Very scary. Very scary. Should be scarier, don't you think? And then we should like, say, all right, best member of chat today, worst member of chat today. How toxic. All right. So that's kind of, hold on. Let's do a little bit of a fade here. All right. Okay, now this hair. Let's make it look like hair instead of brush strokes. Again, it's all about scale and repetition, patterns and non-patterns. As we get kind of closer to the end of this stream, let's thank our mods. We had the full house today. The 4 mods, Kirihiko, Mod Prime, all the way from Switzerland. It's Sunday evening over there for her, so thank you, Kira. And then who else? We had Crispy Egg Roll, Ren Elephant, and our newest mod, Poop Kid. So I want to thank those guys for all tuning in. They're all West Coast based, but still Sunday. They're here to kind of make sure that your viewing experience is the best it can be. So please reach out, thank them for their assistance, and also all the work they do in the Discord channel as well. I didn't see a lot of it, but I understand there was some brouhaha over someone that was kind of banned out of Discord. Let me just say, it's the Discord channel is gosh, I don't know if it's a privilege. It's not an open access thing, right? So please behave, and there's plenty of other venues where people can kind of just freely share whatever they're thinking. And we do want people to feel secure and safe to say what they want, but at the same time not be abusive or harassing or annoying. So please work with them to keep the Discord channel, which I think is up over 4,000 people now. Keep it as positive experience as possible. Rick Gasly has subbed using Prime. Big LS Comic 77. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Big L. Ahmad 1377 has has subbed for 13 months. Welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. There's a part of me that did just like the simplicity of the line drawing before I put in the shadows. The shadows kind of give it extra weight and power, and certainly for a black and white image seen at a distance, it has more kind of oomph or visual presence. But there is some kind of a simplicity and niceness to something that is kind of more of a line drawing than a drawing like this. Okay. And then at the end of this stream, we're going to go raid somebody. So we try to find another creative that's online. We'll go hang out for a bit afterwards, kind of support the creatives that are streaming on Twitch. There's not a lot of them with big followings, myself included. So whatever we can do as a group to support one another and kind of spread the love, spread the word, that's awesome. And so yeah, it just we'll just automatically kind of raid another stream. So I'm gonna punch that in after I finish this Hulk. I dare say I am almost done, but I know how that goes. But I am almost done. The Hulk is actually a little easier to render because he's just more traditional muscles, and I don't have to worry about the fur texture as much. Then I want to darken the hair at the top so it doesn't look like it's just a buzz cut all the way through. What do we got? It's 12:39. 6 minutes. I'm gonna call it at 12:45, no matter what, because I got to go. Got some stuff planned with the family today. Got some birthdays coming up, so I gotta hit the stores. Got travel. Going to a wedding this week. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you're gonna see my knees and a beer and a beach. See the most. cliched imagery ever. Golf Boy Sunday. So, treat watching you recreate this whole commission piece. Catch you on the next stream. Take it easy, man. Have a good one. I'll put that hair up there. I'm going to use a different marker to keep it kind of small and narrow. It is warm as well, man. It's starting to heat up in California. All right, let's just fix up this background here. And I'm going to put a little bit of white out, and then I'll be done. Got 2 minutes left here. All right. Where's my thin marker? So this will be the hair, the forearm hair. Buff those eyes. Buff those eyes. And then this marker is very thin. Get another one. Whoa. Use a 0.2. So with this, you're just building up texture upon texture and then slightly getting it darker as it kind of rounds out the form on the other side. So it's darker on the edge and lighter. So the chest hair, darker in the center, fewer of them, like they're ants fleeing a colony. And so it creates texture, but also creates rendering and form. So you want the hair to go at certain angles to one another. So it has to be a certain size, certain angle, certain density to make it look like hair versus rendering. This is 70s Hulk. Burt Reynolds Hulk. If any of you who knew who Burt Reynolds was, I'd be very impressed. All right. Okay. The last thing is the whiteout. And we're just going to take something plasticky and use it to splatter. If I had something plasticky. We use this Stream Deck pamphlet. Be anything with a little give to it. And we just put a little white out there at the edge. Let's move this up so you guys can see it. There we go. And I just turn it very quickly and splatter at the same time. A little less splatter up there, but it's good to kind of show the progress of it. Okay, it's starting to lose its bounce, so I go to a different corner. And then I gotta do this side real quick. And then very quickly, a couple things I wanted to fix in terms of structure. Pop that muscle back in there. Fix that. Fix this. Fix that. Put a couple these kinds of carry the cloud line through. And I think I got a little overzealous with some of the whiteout here, so I'm gonna take some of these back down. That one there was pretty bad. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Question is, where do I sign it? I think I signed it up here before, but that was a horrible place to sign it. So let's do it right here. All right. Let me show it to, let me see if there's a way of showing this to you guys at the proper angle. Last but not least, the fist is flying. So I'm going to put some pieces up here. All right. That is it. Thank you very much, guys. We're going to go raid someone right now. So let me find out who that person is. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know you guys have lots of other things you could be doing. Thank the mods again for their help. I think you guys are going to enjoy this raid. Actually, I don't know where we're going. But thank you, Sketch22, for resubbing. Queen City Amusements for the last cheer. The bits. Appreciate it. And have a great day, guys. All right. Hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me. Had a great time.